Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have not done a what's new at the drugstore video in a few months now, but lately, over the past few weeks, I feel like I've kind of hit the drugstore jackpot. I have found all kinds of new products that I have tried, and I just get real kicks out of like testing drugstore products and trying to find something that is comparable to a much more pricier item. I like duping things, basically, is what I like to do. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I have tested out over the past 2 or 3 weeks. I've tried everything. One product I'm still not sure on, but everything else I can give you a little review on. I've got a few things that really stand out to me, one in particular, and a few shitty things as well. Okay, so let's just jump into this. I've picked up 3 new foundations in the last probably 3 weeks. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, which is just Flourish XO, if you're interested, you already know how I feel about some of these. Let's start with this guy. This is from Physicians Formula, and I picked this up basically because I love the packaging. It's like this quilted little rubberized compact with these little blue pearls. Super cute. This is a cushion foundation, I guess you call them. These are super popular right now. I'm not sure why, but they seem to be pretty trendy. Here's my thing. I'm not a huge fan of cushion foundations in general because I don't like the application process. You get this little foam applicator thing, which obviously I haven't used. You're supposed to just dip it in here, dab it on your face, dip it in there, dab it on your face, store it in here, dip it in there again. I don't think that's the cleanliest method to apply your makeup because these are really hard to clean. So the way that I have been applying this is by using clean fingers, sticking them in the cushion, just dabbing it around my face, and then I'll have a makeup wipe off my fingers, stick them in there again if I need to add a little more product. Then I've been blending it out with either the Real Techniques blending sponge, or like this is a Real Techniques, what is this called? Buffing brush. Something like that. I gotta be honest, you guys, I'm not a huge fan of this foundation. It really just didn't sit nicely on my skin. It emphasized all of my pores, fine lines. It actually settled into a few of the fine lines under my eyes, and it also oxidized a bit throughout the day. So this really wasn't a hit for me. It was $20 Canadian, which I think is a ridiculous price for a drugstore foundation. And I have said this a gazillion times, but I really get frustrated with the lack of color range that Physicians Formula has with their foundations. And this was the same. There really wasn't a ton of colors to choose from. So light for me, just, it kind of turned a little bit orangey after a while. Like I said, it oxidized. I really wanted to love this because packaging is cute, but yeah, it was a miss for me, unfortunately. There was a mail-in rebate with this guy, I should mention. There usually is, at least in Canada, on the Physicians Formula boxes, but I do find that their products are getting really expensive, and they're one of my favorite lines, but I just, this was a fail. Okay, let's move on to something much more positive. This is the Maybelline Dream Matte Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. A few of you guys asked me if I had seen this and if I had tried it, so when I finally did see the display pop up at my drugstore, and it was on sale, I grabbed one. I have the shade number 10, Porcelain Ivory, and it's what I have on my skin today. You guys, I love this. I think that this is a really difficult formula to nail. I have extremely dry skin. It used to be normal to dry, but as of late, with the winter, it has been extremely dry. I don't know what I mean. If I zoomed in, you'd be able to tell. I won't do that. So usually I steer clear of any sort of matte foundations, but when this said hydrating, I was like, I'll give it a try. And you guys, I really believe if I can pull off a matte foundation, anybody can, because this does not emphasize dry patches. It gives you a very nice even complexion. Say it's medium coverage. It has a gel-like kind of consistency, and when you put it on your face, it has kind of like a cooling effect. I really like it. Again, I've been blending it out with a Real Techniques buffing brush or my beauty sponge. I have a beauty blender too. Whatever, just a sponge. And this stays put all day. So I am a huge fan of this. If you have oily skin, if you have dry skin, I think this would work for anyone because it is hydrating, but it's still matte. So big fan of this. Okay, the last foundation I have is from Rimmel. It is the Match Perfection 24-Hour Moisture Hydration. The reason that I picked this one up is because you may know I am a huge fan of this, which is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour. This was one of my top 15 products of 2015. This looks very similar. I'm gonna have to update you guys on this again because I have only worn it once and I had a few issues with it breaking down, but I think it may have been the base product that I put on before, which was a new oil that I was trying. So I need to give this another go, but I will be sure to update you either on Snapchat or here. But I wanted to mention it because I do have another product from this line, which is the Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer and Highlighter. This is a 2-in-1 and it's supposed to adapt to your skin tone. Now I have the color Fair Light and I gotta be honest, this shade was not good for me. It was actually, and I know this is gonna sound funny, but it was too dark, which is crazy because it's fair and I probably need to just go tan. I put this on, it was a little bit darker than my foundation and I let it sit there. I probably used this a good 5 times now. I've really tried to make this work. It doesn't crease, which is nice, but it doesn't cover dark circles as much as I would like it to. It does have a nice brush on the end here, so you can just kind of squeeze out the product and swipe it. So I do like the applicator, but it's a little too yellow, it's a little too dark for my skin tone, and I didn't find that it brightened. And it does claim to be a concealer and highlighter, so for me, it didn't adjust to my skin tone like it said it should. That could just be me and my chemistry. I am wearing it today, but I had to go over it with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder to kind of brighten that area because it did look darker than the rest of my face, and I also added a highlighter. So for someone maybe with very young skin and you just wanted like a little bit of brightness and you could find a good color, I mean, it wears nicely, it sits nicely on the skin, it doesn't crease, but the color for me just really didn't match and it didn't give me the sort of coverage that I would like. So those are my thoughts on that. Face palettes. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am so excited that the Drugstore is stepping up their palette game. They have come out with all kinds of new eyeshadow palettes and now we have face palettes too. Let me walk you through each of these, starting with this one from L'Oreal. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour and Highlighting Palette. I believe this is available in 3 shades. I have number 813 Light, and what I absolutely love about this palette is the contour shade right here. This is a true contour shade. If you are on the fair to light side like me, this is an excellent Drugstore contour kit to pick up because this is really a true contour powder. And what I mean by that is that it is on more of a gray taupey brown scale. It's not orange, it's not yellow, and it gives you the illusion of a real shadow kind of effect on your face and just kind of sucks in your cheeks and highlights your cheekbones. So I love this powder. I wish they sold it individually because I would probably buy a ton of them. It reminds me a little bit of my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. I'm not saying they are dupes. This one is definitely more pigmented, but you can build this one up. So if you're not wanting to spend a ton of money on something like Kevyn Aucoin, this is a great Drugstore option. I love it. As for the highlighter, it's pretty. It's nothing to like write home about. It's kind of a yellow toned champagne-y color. It is pretty. It will give you like a nice little glow on the cheeks. There's nothing wrong with it. It's totally usable, but the standout product in here for me is definitely the contour shade. Next up, let's talk about this one from Rimmel. This is from the Kate Moss and Rimmel collaboration line, which I'm a big fan of some of her lipsticks. That nude lipstick line that she did, I loved. I have a whole video on that I can link below if you're interested. Really do like the packaging of this. It's got this nice rose gold, super shiny, reflective packaging, and it says Kate on the bottom. The nice thing in here is that you do get a blush, which you don't get in the Infallible contour kit from L'Oreal. So you get a really pretty kind of peach tone blush, a bronzer, and then a highlight. The highlight is kind of similar to the one in the L'Oreal palette. It's a little less yellow and a little more beige, but it's very similar. I do really like the blush. I think it's pretty. I don't think, again, that it's anything to write home about. I think I have a lot of similar blushes in my collection, especially from the Drugstore. I will say I'm not a huge fan of this bronzer. It's not completely matte. It's kind of like a satin finish. Kind of difficult to explain, but I used this all over my face yesterday and I hated it. I actually filmed this video yesterday and I hated my makeup so much that I didn't bother uploading it, so I'm refilming. This just made my skin look, I don't know, it just kind of, it was very unnatural and it looked kind of shiny. So I really wasn't a huge fan of that bronzer. My skin is quite pale, so I mean, it's hard. I need something that's gonna look very natural. This didn't do it for me though. This is in the shade Coral Glow. I believe there are 3 shades. So, I mean, the highlighter and the blush were nice. Bronzer would probably work for some people, but for me, I didn't totally love it. This guy, on the other hand, from Maybelline, I did show you guys swatches of this on Instagram. I really like this, and I like all 3 products in this kit. So again, you get a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush, and I'm wearing all of those products on my face today. This bronzer is a matte, and it's also just very subtle. You can build it up a bit, but it looks quite natural. I have it just very subtly applied to my hairline and around my jaw, and I really like it. I also have this blush on my cheeks, and I think it gives just a very natural kind of healthy glow. And I'm also wearing the highlighter. I had to think about it. Yes, I'm wearing this highlighter, and it actually is quite pretty. Like, it casts quite a nice little gleam there. So this is a really great contour kit. Again, I have the shade number 10, light to medium. I think they had 3 different options available as well, but this is something I would really recommend. If you're looking for a true contour shade to chisel and kind of sculpt, I would recommend this one. But if you're looking for just 3 great face products, I'd say this one. This is okay, but it's my least favorite of the 3. Next up, I picked up 2 of the new Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid Lipsticks. These are, of course, completely on trend right now. Liquid lipsticks are all the rage. So I wanted to try a couple of these, and I don't know really what was into me that day, but clearly I was feeling a little nuts. I picked up this purple, which is called Vivid Violet, and then I also picked up this nude called Nude Flush. I'm not wearing these today, and that's because I don't completely love them. What I will say is that these take a hell of a long time to dry down to a matte finish. I would say a good 30 minutes. And for me, this one looks very pretty. I'll show you guys a swatch. When you just swipe it, like, that's a beautiful nude color, and it looks really nice initially when you put it on your lips. But after about 30 minutes, I found that this dried down and almost just disappeared. I lost a lot of the color, and it just, I didn't love it. I really didn't love it. The purple one, I showed you guys a picture of me wearing this on Instagram, and it looks kind of cool in the picture because I loaded that up to give myself like some really purple lips. I will say is that this one dried down to a very, very patchy finish. So it wasn't, you know, completely opaque. It dried down to be very spotty, and I had to keep touching up. It was a lot of work. I don't know, I feel like this line is kind of hit and miss. There are, I believe, 10 colors though, and I have not tried them all, but these 2 were kind of meh. Okay, last but not least, I saved my absolute favorite thing that I have found. Oh my gosh, I was so excited about this, you guys. I'm a huge fan of the Anastasia. I want to say Anastasia, but I know that Norvina pronounces it Anastasia, so I'm gonna try to pronounce it properly. The Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil for years. I love that thing. It has been just my go-to brow product. And then I saw this guy pop up, and it looks pretty much identical. Hold it up. So this is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, and I got my color in dark brunette. I'm wearing it today, and not sure if you guys can tell, but I really think this looks identical to my Anastasia Brow Wiz. It is basically the same thing. It's got a mechanical retractable crayon thing. What? And then on the other side, you get the spoolie. It's basically identical in size. It looks the same. This is just slightly less creamier than the Anastasia Brow Wiz. When I swatch it, like I did right there, you'll see like you do get a bit of a fainter line. It's not going to be super opaque. I'm totally okay with that because I don't like a really strong like crayon line because I think that looks quite a bit more obvious. I want things to be a little more natural, and this really does the job for me. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think I'm done purchasing the Anastasia because this is so much more affordable. I think I paid $10 for this versus $27 that I would pay for the Anastasia. I really struggle with that word. Anastasia Brow Wiz, there we go. Only downside I would say is that I did not see near the range of colors in this guy as I did in the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I don't know, as long as you can find a shade in this, I would definitely give it a try because for me, it is worth it. All right guys, so that is it for my new at the drugstore haul. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about some of these products, if you have tried them, if there are new products that you would like me to test out and report back to you guys. I basically live for that. I love, love, love trying new makeup. It's probably unhealthy. I get real thrills from it, you guys, I really do. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Take care of each other, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye, guys.